Greetings of God on all of us. My name is Abdul Rahim. I'm the host of Man with Questions. I'm not a scholar, I'm actually a student of religion and science. I've been studying different topics, and one of the topics which is common between the major religions of Christianity and Islam is the story of the seven sleepers. The seven sleepers were the number of persons have differed. Some say there was three sleepers, some say there were five sleepers, some say seven, some say nine. But commonly and usually people refer them as the seven sleepers. So they were, let's say there were seven people. You know, there were seven young guys. They were after Jesus Christ, or Prophet Isa, as we call in Islam. They used to worship one God. They were in the time of the Roman Empire, and at that time, Decius was the Roman governor of that area, and he used to worship idols. So he wanted these seven young people because they used to go out of town and they used to pray to God. Uh, uh, Probably the way the Christians used to, but at that time Christianity was not very open. It was not in mainstream. So they used to pray to God, and they did not engage in any idol worshipping. As I have read, somebody saw them praying the way the Christians do, and they took them to Decius, the governor at that time of that Roman area, and told them, Decius, that these guys are following up Christianity. So Decius called them. What I've read and I've researched, that these guys were from a high-ranking family, a noble family. So Decius did give them some time. He gave them an opportunity that, I'm giving you some time. Come back and agree to my religion, the idol worshipping. These were individuals. They were not friends. They were not family. They decided among themselves that we are not going to do any idol worshipping. And when they went to DCS, they stood up and they said that we believe in God, who is the owner, who is the master of the heavens and on earth and the universe, everything, and we will only pray to him. And if we do pray to someone else, that will be wrong. Decius gave them some time, and these young guys decided that we should go out of town. We should probably go and stay in a cave. And they went there, and they were tired, and they went to sleep. So there's a whole chapter in the Holy Quran in Islam, and the name of that chapter is People of the Cave, Ashab-e-Kahf. Surah-Kahf is the name of the chapter in Quran, and in that it mentions that some people say there were three and four, because there was a mention of a dog also in the Holy Quran, and it mentions that they were three, and maybe fourth was their dog, or maybe five or six was their dog, or seventh or eighth was their dog. But it mentions clearly in the Holy Quran that only God knows what the number of people were. My concept is to determine a correlation between religions and science. So I tried studying it from that point of view. Because it's very, very famous in Christian religion, the seven sleepers. It has a whole chapter named after them in the Holy Quran, which is one of the major religions. But my concept was how to determine their story according to science, and this is a fascinating story. These guys went, and according to the Quran, they were hit by something, and they went to sleep in that cave for a very long time, for a lot of years. and they slept there for about 309 years. So I've been studying science, and I've been wondering how seven people, let's say seven people, just for discussion purposes, seven people can be hit on their ears and they will sleep all without getting hurt or without being anything else. So I studied and I found out that they were hit by sound waves simultaneously, and that made them go to sleep. And while they were sleeping, God made sure that they were, lying on one side, on the left, and they were being turned on the right, so that, probably it was to preserve their circulation or their body or something like that. And they woke up after 309 years. And as God mentions in the Holy Quran, they were 300 plus 9 years, but only God knows the exact time. So 300 years is a very, very, very long time. So I took my scientific approach to it, and I said that sound wave opened up a portal, and that cave became a portal through which they were time traveling, because when they woke up after 309 years, they were in their same shape, same age. Their fingernails had not grown, their hair had not grown, the beard had not grown, their clothes were fine. They woke up and they said that, wow, we probably, amongst themselves, they were discussing how much did we sleep? And they said probably a day or maybe part of a day. And at that time, it's mentioned in the Holy Quran that they were sleeping and light was being, the sunlight did not enter that cave. So I started studying, why sunlight will not enter it. Once that sound wave started, and it kept on, because according to the Quran, it kept on, continuous on them, that sound kept on for them for a long time, for years and years. So that opened up a portal, and they time traveled, and they were in suspended animation. Their body did not grow. And when and why was light being deflected? So whenever gravity increases, time slows down. So in that cave, probably the gravity was so high, it was so strong that the time stopped for them. And since gravity will it will deflect light. Light can be bent because of gravity. So whenever light tried to enter the mouth of the cave, it was deflected because of the high gravity in that cave. And when they came out, their clothes, their bodies, everything was fine. They went to, one of them decided when they woke up after 309 years or so, that we are hungry. Let's send somebody, one of us, to get some pure food. Probably at that time, the Romans were eating what Christians were not, and they sent somebody with the coins of those times. But those coins were from Decius' time. So when they went out, and they decided that this guy, whoever is going from one of them, should be very cautious. So he went. He was very cautious. He bought the food, but when he gave the coins to the shopkeeper said, "These are like old coins. They are like 300 years old." And probably they had a discussion that, these are Decius coins. And Decius died about 300 years ago. So they all gathered, and they started probably questioning him, and they found out. And in some places that I've studied, that they took them to the current governor or the current ruler of that area. And by that time, Christianity had spread a lot in that area. So they didn't have any problems. And the rulers listened to the story, and they were surprised that these guys have been sleeping there for 300 years. They time traveled. This was amazing, from a scientific point of view, opening up a portal with sound waves, increasing the gravity so time slows down, and increasing the gravity so much that light does not enter that cave. they also had a dog, and probably time stopped for the dog also, because there's no mention of the dog afterwards, but it should be there. And there's very interesting part in the Holy Quran saying that whoever used to go upon them would be scared and ran away, So maybe the dimensions change because of that portal opening up because of the sound waves. And if you go and see a picture in the fourth dimension, because we are three-dimension people. So if you see somebody, because computer generated pictures and videos, if you turn them into 4D, they look very scary. Plus there's a mention of that you will see them that they are sleeping, but actually they are awake, but actually they are asleep. So I have yet to understand how, what state they're physically were, that people got scared of them, and if they went and looked inside, they were scared and they ran away. And so this was very interesting. Once they went back uh, to the cave with probably that ruler of the time or the people of that time, they entered, and then God, took their souls and they passed away. But this is a very interesting time traveling, gravity, and it's a scientific discovery from my point of view. So I will love my viewers to give me opinions, especially from the scientific community and the Christian and Muslim community, if they have any ideas about what went on at that time. So give me your feedback, guys. Thank you. Have a nice evening.